All right, so now that we've brought our media in, we need to sync our video with our audio. This is a very important initial step when you are working with audio that was recorded on a secondary device. Synchronized clip in Final Cut Pro works great. I just wish it had a batch sync option. Now there are, of course, other options like Pluralize or DaVinci Resolve where you can sync your dailies slightly more easily than you can in Final Cut Pro. But as I said from the get-go, we're going to be doing everything natively with no outside help whatsoever today. So the first thing I like to do is come up over here and create a new event, and we'll name this Synced Media. This is the event that all of our synced clips are going to be going into, where this media event is basically just our raw material that we'll probably never go back to unless we really need to. Now, clicking over here into the Scene 1 keyword collection, let's go ahead and come up over here and get rid of the timeline. And let's go ahead and get rid of the inspector as well so we can see everything all at once. Now, right here, this clip is labeled Scene 1, Take 1 for audio. Coming down over here to our first clip on the top, you see this is Scene 1, Take 1. Going down to the next clip, you see Take 2, Take 3, Take 4, and now you might have to get to where you have to skim through the shot a little bit. Scene 1, Take 5, there you are. So we pretty much can assume that 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 audio takes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 video takes, that we are pretty well organized here. So go ahead and select the top audio and the first video that corresponds to it, right click and click Synchronize Clips. Now this will bring up the synchronization options. The renaming of the synchronized clip over here, I personally just leave it alone because we are going to be changing those names again anyway according to our metadata. Here in Event, I'm going to switch this to Synced Media, of course. We are going to use audio for synchronization. Now, if you are syncing according to timecode even, still have the Use Audio for Synchronization option clicked because it will be using that on top of the timecode to give you an even more finer sync. You can also click Disable Audio Components on AV clips. This basically means that it's going to delete the audio on the lower quality camera audio and just keep the higher quality audio from the external recorder. Now, if you click on Use Custom Settings down here, you'll see you have your different options of Automatic, where Final Cut chooses the one for you, Content Created, which goes by the time in the camcorder, the start of first clip, or first marker on the clip, you can add that manually if you need to. Down over here, you'll see the video and frame rate settings, which I generally just leave as automatic because it'll match whatever your project setting is, which matches your media if you've set it up properly. And you leave the rendering codec over here to Apple ProRes 422 is fine. So if we go ahead and click OK, you'll see the meter bar synchronizes these clips and it automatically queues up into the new synced media event. Let's go ahead and hit play.
Yep, dead. Did anyone know?
Looks pretty sunk to me. So now we're going to go back up over here and we're going to go through Scene 1 and we are going to do the exact same thing. Just want to make sure that that event keeps getting sent to synced media, as it will default back to the original event that the media came from. But other than that, the rest of the settings can stay the same, and we're just going to go down the line. Now, I have sped this up, obviously, in post so that you did not have to sit here and watch me do this for every clip. But this is generally one of the more time-intensive processes in Final Cut Pro, as opposed to, like I said, other programs or apps where you may be able to batch sync things. Now, the last thing I'll say here is that Final Cut does annoyingly load up the event that the media has been moved into if you are in another event with the media. So it may be useful to, rather than send it to a new event, simply send it to the event that it's in. That way the whole screen doesn't change to a different event, and you can simply drag and drop this into the synced media event afterwards. Now going into Scene 2 here, we see we have 10 audio clips, but we have 13 video clips, which means we have some multi-camera in here. Now, we're not going to tackle multi-camera right now. We'll leave that for later. So for right now, because I know 2831 through 2834 are that second angle that we're going to incorporate later on, just select those 4 clips, hit delete. Make sure your hide rejected is selected up over here so we don't see those clips anymore. Now you'll see we have the 9 video clips and we have 10 audio clips, but there must be some kind of a double or false take in here. Now this happens quite often. You'll get media, you won't have a script supervisor, you won't know what's what. So an easy way is to take a look down over here on the duration. We see a minute 48, minute 21, minute 10, all the way down. This one's only 37 seconds long, so I'm going to assume that that is the faulty take and just keep my eye on that as we move down the line. But working from the top again, we have Scene 2, take 1, Scene 2, take 1, synchronize clip, and we'll go ahead and put that into the synced media as well. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up again, but continue going down the line, syncing each video with the next audio. So stopping right over here at Scene 2, take 5, we see the next clip down is Scene 2, take 7. So we are indeed missing this 6 over here. I was correct in saying that that was the false take. So you can go ahead and leave that there if you'd like, or you can hit delete, which rejects it. It's hidden from view, but still there technically. So we'll continue on down the line now with the final clips. All right, now we're heading into our last scene, Scene 3. And as you can see here, the audio started getting labeled by scene numbers and letters, which delineate the different setup angles, which I think is really great. Now we go over here, Scene 1, take 1, Scene 1. Oops, so this guy doesn't belong here. This is Scene 1. So go ahead and hit Command K. We'll go into this more later. You see, yep, I accidentally put 2 scenes as metadata on here. We want to hit Scene 3 and delete that because this clip is not in Scene 3. And if we just do a little click out and click back in, you'll see that it's updated itself. So if we go to this first clip right here, let's find the slate. Scene 3, take 1, Scene 3, take 1, synchronize clips. Now this next one down here, Scene 3A, take 1, 3A, take 1. So now we're back and we'll just go in line from top to bottom. Finish syncing all this and I'll speed it up. All right, so now that we have all of our media synced here, and it's all in this synced media event, I like to just go through, spot check a couple moments.
No knocks on the door?
Nope.
Different.
Yeah?
Yeah. More.
Nope. Don't see the need for one.
They wanted to know if I would sleep in the same bed.
There you go. So spot check looks good. I mean, if this was a professional project I was being paid for, I would go through checking everything before I ever handed a camera card back to camera department. But for now, everything's looking pretty good. Now, of course, there are third-party apps like Sync and Lick X that can batch sync your video and audio if you were able to jam sync your timecode on set. There's a method where your camera and audio recorder's internal timecode are synced with each other while filming, make it easier to sync in post-production later on. Now, you have that timecode option in X internally without that third party, but again, you have to do it one clip at a time. The other thing I really think is annoying is that you have to select the clips here in the browser. You wouldn't be able to, let's say, drop the clips onto a timeline, sync them visually here, and then lasso them in the timeline to right-click and synchronize. Unfortunately, you have to select them individually up here in the browser, which I think is a little bit annoying, but what are you going to do?